Hello, and here I am attempting to do a video for November. Right, now this is, you'll notice the word attempt there, because the astrology is it's not so difficult to read. Reading it is easy, it's articulating it that's probably the most difficult thing. Putting words to something that actually is meant to be quite deep and quite silent. We're supposed to get this month with our guts and our intuition. We're not supposed to have somebody explain it to us. So therefore, me sitting here and trying to put words is to kind of like go against what the astrology is saying I should be doing. So basically I should sit here and go, do you get it? See, do you get it? You're supposed to go, yeah, I'm getting it, man. Yeah, I'm getting it. Well, that's no good. This is a YouTube video. I've got to say something. Okay. Well, I guess the first thing to say is that what we should be getting is a great deal of sexuality and sensuality. That's just kind of standard stuff for the Scorpio time of the year. And that would be great if you're in a relationship and it's all getting revived, or if you're not in a relationship and just met somebody. And kind of, I think that kind of gives me an example. So when you've just met somebody and it's all so loving and everything, and you lie together and you don't speak, and you just kind of exchanging energies with chakras basically, then you kind of know where I'm coming from. That's the place where it's actually words slay the meaning, you know. It's also supposed to be about the intensity and the shared emotion. Okay, so we've got that side of the month, but I need to come up with something better than that, don't I? When it comes to the midterms, I haven't a clue. I don't know. It's honestly the deepest chart that I've ever seen. We have a new moon within hours, a new moon in Scorpio, so that's the moon and the sun standing in the same place in the sky, halfway through Scorpio. I mean, it doesn't get any more dark and dense than that, halfway through Scorpio. And so this new moon might as well be in the Pacific Ocean, at the bottom of the Pacific Ocean. That's how difficult it is to read. The only way that I could do this is to just look at the amount of feminine energy in the chart, and there is tons of that. So I could look at that and I could go, okay, I'm going to make this really simple. Look at all these asteroid goddesses. They're really kind of obvious in this chart. Look at the amount of feminine energy, loads in Capricorn, loads in Scorpio. Okay, I'm going to go on the side of the feminine energy, yin energy, the reclusive energy, rather than the in-your-face, masculine, blah, you know, big exaggerating, you know, dominating moves. I'm going to go on the side of the yin, which is more reclusive, more hidden, more nurturing, more sensitive, more feminine, and usually played by women. Now, the point about masculine and feminine, they are the polarity of the universe. These are the two energies which make up the oneness. These are the two energies which also define the elements and then the zodiac signs that come out of them. So, I mean, they're kind of like everywhere. They are the emitter and the receiver. These are the primordial pair. Okay, so if feminine energy is being the one that is being accentuated, or the one that is most obvious in the chart, this means that the yin and the feminine are likely to be dominant. But of course, it's not a dominant energy. So if it's dominant, that kind of means it's the one that is the most obvious, pervasive, but that doesn't make it in your face. It is usually played by women, but feminine can be played by men, and women can play masculine. And then we've got all the beautiful rainbow colours of different gender and everything, all of which will, in one way or another, play out this archetypal opposition between masculine and feminine, no matter what your sexual choice is. So in that case, I have to go with the fact that perhaps it won't go in the overt masculine way. It won't be in the masculine favour. So in that case, are we looking at the Democrats sort of sweeping the board? That's the best I can come up with. If that's not right, I apologise. I'm going to say, oh, I couldn't read it anyway. I just had a stab at it. Anyway, let's look at November for the rest of us. You know, if we're not a politician in America, what about the rest of us? What about the month of November? I think we continue with this very watery environment. So again, lots happening in the depths of the ocean. That this is a magical energy, and it contains great potential for miracles, and you should bear that in mind and get in touch with that when you need miracles. My God, could you get hold of them? I mean, this really is a very productive energy in terms of I want this, hey, you'll get it, be careful what you wish for, sort of thing. So we've got that about November. That's great. We've also got a very prominent Neptune energy. Now, this is because the horoscope for the USA, so the birth chart for the USA, is being activated by Neptune. So transiting Neptune is squaring the USA's ascendant descendant. Now, okay, what kind of does that mean? So I've got to jargon bust that, haven't I? But Neptune is also coming up to make a square to the Sun in the UK's chart. So we've got Neptune affecting both of these countries, and what it's doing, it's causing a great deal of confusion. People are looking at the news and looking at each other and not being able to get a hold of anything. There's a lot of perceived deception. There's a lot of confusion. Nothing is kind of obvious. I was listening to a conversation between two people who one is a Trump supporter and one is somebody who wouldn't support Trump. But what they were both saying about this was that they wish they could reclaim their own power. They both of them felt that either side was probably not being truthful. Both of them felt that they didn't want to be defined by, oh, well, you're a Trump hater or a Trump supporter. They both wanted to find their way through the fog and make their own minds up. But the presence of Neptune is telling us that this isn't easy to do in the States, and it's also not easy to do in the UK, where we're not being told everything about Brexit. There's lots of things that are being hidden. So what Neptune's doing is it's making things appear very difficult and unclear and foggy, but it's also giving us a pining and a yearning and a longing for something that we can't seem to get our hands on. And so people are wanting something and they don't know what it is they want because they can't formulate it. So you might be familiar with right now an energy which feels difficult to grasp and lends an issue of, I don't know, sort of sadness, a little sort of, it's piquant, it's sort of difficult to, it's kind of like you can't, where am I? It's very, very difficult to describe, and it describes a certain sadness and also a certain need to redeem, to make up for something, to make it better. Neptune is a feminine energy which sort of wants to dissolve everything also. So it's like the sea and the waves coming up the beach and washing all your sandcastles off, and so okay, now the beach is nice and clean and empty, but I kind of like my sandcastles, and what am I going to build in its place? It's that kind of thing, really. Trying to kind of, where's my country? Where's the form? Where's the things I can believe in? And that might permeate into your own life as well. You can be sort of dawdling along. Where's the stuff that I want to do? What do I want to cling to? What do I want to? Where do I want to go? Where's my future? What do I not want in it? What do I want in it? Everything seems as if it's dissolving and it's nebulous and it's unclear. And this is, you know, this is kind of like the way it goes on for November. The point is that we're not supposed to find anything at the moment. We're supposed to be in a sea of confusion. We're supposed to be in a position in feminine energy where we are dwelling, sort of trying to work out what we want, but just let things kind of like percolate under the ocean floor, or under the surface of the ocean, if you like. it won't be clear. Don't get frustrated. Maybe you can't make it clear. This is not a time of clarity. The time for clarity actually is later in the year, when the sun moves into Sagittarius. So when we start to get into December, then it's all vivid energy. But right now it's not supposed to be. It's supposed to be a time of mysteriousness, gentleness, subtle stuff just floating around, things you can't get hold of. And it's maybe best to just go with that. It's maybe best to just let that be. Be confused. Take advantage of the magic where you can. Try to bring things in. But where things are confusing and sad, float with them. Accept that state and float in that state and just let it be. This is better than trying to fight it. Trying to put form to things might be very difficult at the moment. It's probably best not to. It's probably best to just, okay, kind of go into a meditative state, do yoga, that kind of thing. Water, if you can get into water, be by the side of water, water therapies, all these things are going to be absolutely fabulous if you can do this. That's going to be great. That's kind of the best I can come up with. I think if you're looking for a more joyous state, if you've been feeling sad and pensive, anxiety, not being able to sleep, it's because you can't grasp and put form to things. Let that be, okay? But I can give you some dates to look forward to when more of a joyful feeling, more of a hopeful feeling, more of a future-oriented feeling will come in. And I think that will happen after the 7th and 8th of November, when Jupiter is moving into Sagittarius. Then we'll start to get a lot more future-oriented, visionary stuff coming in. It's not there at the moment, but that's when we'll start to get a lot more excitement. On the 16th of November, Mars moves into Pisces and dumps us in a load more water. So if you want to get clarity, if there is a thing you've got to do and you need to have vision and you need to have the future and you need to have form, then what I suggest you do is try to do it between the 8th and the 16th of November. Put, kind of like give it your time then and say, right, I want to create this now quickly before I can't see what I'm doing again. That would be the best. Anyway, I hope I have made some sense of what is a very nebulous month, a very confusing month, and probably one where we're all supposed to be on holiday by the beach, relaxing and drinking martinis or what have you, rather than trying to grapple with things that we just aren't going to make any sense. So if you can organise that, that's it. Take a plane, go, relax, forget it, doesn't matter. Who is he anyway? Anyway, oh well, hope that was useful. It would be lovely to see you next month. Oh, and don't forget to have a reading with me. I mean, honestly, if you're sort of like down and none of it's working and it's all a bit confusing, we could at least look at your charts and we could at least do the best with what we've got and look towards the year ahead. And that might look, quite vivid and bright and full of, future-oriented stuff. And you might think, yo, there's something to look forward to here. So don't forget to have a reading if you'd like one. It was lovely to talk to you. Have a lovely time. See you soon. Bye.